Lifers and loved ones, welcome back to the channel. This is Biz Lifestyle. As always, you know what time it is. Plans being laid, no games being played, money being made, and bills being paid. As always, the love is real and the energy is high, and it feels so good to be back. Much respect and appreciation. Good vibes to all. As always, let's dive right into the topic, shall we? With no time to waste. I should not have to live with your decisions. I would not, could not, and should not have to live with your decisions. Allow me to explain myself. I'll be the first to admit it. One of my struggles in life is when other people's decisions, choices, moves, lifestyle like spills over onto me. I'll be the first to admit it. It's one of those things that I'm struggling with. And the beauty of like creating this content, it's cathartic. It's therapeutic in a way. It allows me to take inventory and to check myself. You know what I mean? I'm always looking to do better. I'm always looking to take myself to task. And I understand, you know what I mean? New levels, new devils. You want to grow, you want to elevate. You got to hold yourself accountable and accept responsibility for the part you had to play, and make sure that you know what I mean, giving grace and mercy to others, and you ain't doing too much. And you ain't doing too much. You understand? So I'm very, very well aware of that. And I know I'm not perfect. I also want to preface these comments by saying, listen, this is not about any particular place, person, or thing in general. This is just me getting out my heart. You know what I mean? In a way that's healthy, and hoping that this could help somebody. Please do speak your piece. Please do speak your mind in the comment section. Speak your truth. I know somebody gonna feel me and let me know. So don't hesitate. We build community, baby. But I do struggle with other people's life decisions spilling over onto me. And I know that's more or less kind of the world that we live in. You know what I mean? The places that we go, the things we do, the roads that we share, you know, the highways and byways, you know, we're sharing the road. And there are opportunities and instances where other people's decisions spill over onto you. Like, and I get that. But just because I'm aware of it doesn't necessarily mean that it makes it easy for me. I'm just looking to do better about it. You know what I mean? And to love myself and be kind to myself and give grace to others as well. And understand that for the most part, people are out here doing the best that they can the same way that I am, you know. However, sometimes people, for the most part, they're going to have different standards for their life than you. They're going to have different aspirations. They're going to have different goals. People have different ways of living, you know, based on, you know, the variables, the upbringing and things like that. It's going to have an effect on how you live your life and how you make decisions and your ability to forecast. That's one thing I want to have a discussion about, is the ability to forecast and having vision, you know, trusting your intuition, having sound judgment based on your life experiences and, you know, knowing some of the mistakes that you've made in the past and trying to do better about it. I think that's big. When you have the ability to hold yourself accountable, it helps prevent you from making the same mistakes over and over. But again, everybody has areas of opportunity where they can grow. Guilty, like me included. But this is me trying to do better about that. But at the same time, I try to live in a way that I try to hold myself accountable, again, be a positive influence on other people. I try to be humble. I will apologize if I know that I did you wrong. I'm typically at my essence more of a giver than a taker. So it's like I am conscientious of how the things that I'm doing are affecting the people around me. You know, the people, you know, who I share a home with and who I cohabitate with, people who are in my gravitational pull, friends, family, things of that nature, but definitely not perfect. Definitely not without flaw. And I recognize that as well. But this could be business relationships. It could be a coworker. This could be a close friend, family, intimate relationship, whatever. It's difficult for me when other people's choices have an adverse effect on my quality of life, my mindset, my peace. Let's keep it my money, you know, my ability to move. Like, I'm going to always find challenges in that because, you know, we make the sacrifices. We do the best we can. You know, it's important to be disciplined. We work hard. You know what I mean? And we have a tendency, you know, of making plans. So it's like when you have a vision in your mind for something and you're working toward that goal, and because something happened that you couldn't foresee, or someone made a decision and it's having an impact on you, it can be upsetting. It could be upsetting. I definitely don't want this to have like a negative woe is me kind of tone, because that's definitely not what this is. I love myself and you all way too much to even have that energy. This is just about reflection and sharing of myself. and an opportunity to like look at things from a different perspective. So definitely do, let's keep the conversation going, engage with me in that regard. But I think everyone here can attest, friends, like I said, partners, relationships, family members. It's like you made certain decisions and now I'm expected to understand it, be someone you can vent to, have a solution, and like sometimes even prop people up about it. Like I find difficulty in that. I have this ideology, help versus rescue. Those are not the same things to me. I am, a blessed individual by the grace of God, and I am in a position in life where I'm able to, assist, and I'm able to help, and I need help sometimes too. You know what I mean? It takes a village, and it's about community. I definitely cannot do this by myself. But it's another thing when you put yourself in a position to need a rescue, as an American and as an adult, you know what I mean? As someone who was out in the world to be productive, you know what I mean? We have to secure the lives that we want to live. We have to take prescribed steps to manifest the life that we want to live. And if you're perpetually making the same decisions over and over, you're not learning from it, you're not growing from it, then what is that saying? Like what exactly does that mean? By definition, we've all heard it. It's cliche. We've all heard it. The definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over and over, but expecting a different result about it. I'm not insane, or at least not clinically, not diagnosed. You know what I mean? And I try to learn from my mistakes when I make them. They say either you win or you learn. So it's like it's a lesson to be had. And as long as you take something from the things that you go through, then it can't be in vain. It wasn't all for naught. But it's important to have enough vision to be able to learn, from those mistakes, so that not only you're not continuing to make them, but you could also give game and share that knowledge and that insight and that experience with someone else, so that it may also prevent them from making that same mistake as well. Save somebody some money, some anguish, some time, some discomfort, all of that good stuff. And I'm all about that. But I'm sure, over time, I'll continue to do the shadow work and I'll get better and better. But it is one of those things in life that I can admit is an area of opportunity for me. It is a struggle because it really kind of grinds my gears a little bit. It gets me tight, up in here. It gets me tight up in here when I'm expected to like make sense of someone else's life decision and how somebody else's poor judgment or lack of execution may have a negative effect on my life and my ability to live it the way that I want to, my ability to move. I tend to be kind of an out of the way type of individual. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm introverted per se, but I'm definitely one of those people who values time by themselves, and I get my energy from being by myself. I don't get my energy so much from crowds, and I kind of get my energy, by smaller, intimate spaces, maybe one or two people. Like I'll have a deeper experience with just a few people in a room, where it's a controlled environment and I feel comfortable, versus like being out and about, at a lounge, club, or like even a parade or something like that. So the energy of people and how I'm sensitive to it. I can be sensitive to it in a way. And don't get me wrong, like I'm confident and I'm comfortable and I do love people and I can hold my own. And I definitely, think it's important to take opportunities to be social in a way that's healthy. But I also find a lot of peace and comfort and reflection and creativity in spending time on my own. So that's important to me as well. But like I said, I understand that, we're all in this fight together and, we all make mistakes. Again, we're looking to learn, but I just want it to be understood that I don't suffer from, what may refer to as survivor's remorse. I feel like, we're all out here making choices, like doing the very absolute best that we can. I'm one of those people who I am a servant at my heart. I definitely want to show love. I want to help people and I want to give, but I am also a woman of boundaries. I'm a woman of boundaries and I'm of principle. And I want to say that it is completely healthy for you to be that way. When someone really loves you, you can tell them no. When you really love someone, you can tell them no. And when you have respect for someone, they can tell you no. And the love doesn't change. And the energy doesn't necessarily need to change because that's your boundary. You know, that's how you keep yourself safe. That's how you keep yourself, you know, if you will, in waters that you can handle because you have your boundary set up. So it's like, I don't move very well on other people's time. I don't do very well with people who don't have boundaries. And I'm in a season where the more I continue to grow and forgive myself and love myself, I'm not going to be, you know, held accountable, or I'm not going to be taken to task about somebody else's choices and somebody else's decisions because I wasn't being taken into consideration when those decisions were being made. So therefore, I shouldn't necessarily have to deal with the fallout. And that doesn't mean that I won't help and assist where I can in a way that's healthy, but I'm not going to be made to feel obligated. I'm not going to mortgage my peace, my rest, my sleep, my appetite. I'm not gonna trade any of those things in to come in and rescue. Again, help is one thing and rescue is another. And I never want to, again, be a negative influence or suck the air out of a room. So I don't want to be in a position where I'm a hindrance to anyone. I don't want to be in a position where choices that I'm making in life or the way that I'm moving is hurting someone else or causing somebody else pain or heartbreak or whatever that is. Like, I think genuinely we all want to love each other for the most part. We all want to do well. We all want to set goals. We want to achieve our goals, and we want to live the lives that we want on our own terms. Excuse me. And I feel that's healthy, you know, and that's typically, you know, across the board how people want it. But I also understand that we each have our own individual struggles and areas of opportunity, you know, based on, you know, different factors, family, upbringing, you know, lifestyle, you know, whether we're parents or not, socioeconomic, education, all those things can play a part, you know, what we do for a living, all of those things. So I won't hold you all too long. I just wanted to jump in front of the camera and let you all know that, you know, it's perfectly fine to have boundaries, and it's also good, you know, to give from your heart and be able to help someone, you know, lend a helping hand, jump in, share your time with somebody, lend an ear, you know, allow somebody to vent if that's what they need, but not at the expense of your peace, and not if it tugs too much on your energy that it makes you uncomfortable. And you shouldn't operate and move, you know, from a sacrificial mindset, because you're going to empty your cup. You know what I mean? And if your cup is completely empty, you're going to be left to pick up the pieces, and it's going to be your responsibility to keep that filled up. And only you know where your ceiling is and what your limits are. And that's okay. But give from your overflow. Give from your overflow. You know, that's another thing that I recently, you know, had a revelation about and have been guilty of in the past. Giving too much of myself, more energy than I even had to really give at that time. But because I wanted to help and I wanted to be of service and I wanted to, you know what I mean, be there in situations where people, co-workers, friends would have needed me, but it left me feeling empty. And that's not how things should be, and that's not okay. Use your discernment, use your wisdom to determine whether rescue or help is needed, and then move accordingly or not. Set a standard, hold tight on your boundaries, and there's no need to feel bad about it. But give from your overflow and don't give with expectation. That way, regardless of the outcome, you can feel good about it because you did what you wanted to do from your heart with no expectation, and it was what you could handle. All right. As always, let's keep the conversation going. Drop it down in the comment section. Speak your truth. Let me know if any of this resonates, and we can continue to keep it going if you like. As always, feel free to send me an email at askbizlifestyle@gmail.com. That is askbizlifestyle@gmail.com. Much respect again and appreciation. Thank you for spending time with me. I appreciate you. And until next time, we have out.